Hello, dears. Welcome to episode 2 of season 3 of Each Place Flow, or episode 20 of the whole podcast. I'm Sela, and this episode is dedicated to Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, or the book with the basilisk, or the book that is a sequel and is actually good. I mean, that is kind of a surprise if you consider other second books and other sagas. But we're not here about that. We're here about the magical world of Harry Potter. Before all of that, have you read Harry Potter's book? Because if you haven't, then you're about to go into a lot of spoilers if you don't know anything about the Wizarding World, or if you haven't read any of the books or watched the movies. And if you didn't hear my previous podcast about the Fall of the Stone, then you're gonna see a lot of spoilers now, or rather, hear them. Anyways, I will start. The Chamber of Secrets is the second book in the Harry Potter saga by J.K. Rowling. It is the story of the boy who lived, Harry Potter. Now, in the second year of Hogwarts, he spends the summer with his aunt and uncle, who are muggles. And yeah, I mean, in the first one, he went to school, and then when the school year ended, he had to go back to his aunt and uncle, and the cousin that he doesn't like. But anyways, he spent the summer there, and he had a lot of homework and a lonely time because his friends that he made on the first year, aka Hermione and Ron, didn't write to him the whole summer, or that's what he thought. This is where things start to get a little more interesting as he discovers new creatures in the magical world, meaning house elves. Cue Dobby. He makes the first appearance here in the Chamber of Secrets. Dobby is a house elf, and it's a little clumsy, and he's rather trying to help way he's really not helping. um, House elves are usually um, attached. No, I mean that's not the word. Um, they are, let's say, the slaves, or they are owned. Yeah, that's better. They are owned by family, a magical family. In this case, Dobby is owned by the Malfoy family, which are Draco Malfoy's family, Harry Potter's enemy or antagonist, if you must. Anyways, Harry meets Dobby, who is a rather rebel elf. Sorry, it's not various elves. And he tries to warn Harry that bad things are gonna happen in Hogwarts. And he does this when Harry is still Pivot Drive, and Dobby appears there and tells him not to go back to Hogwarts. But of course, Harry doesn't listen to Dobby, and he goes anyway with his life. And from there, before the summer is over, Harry goes to the barrel and get his first sight at a magical family and a magical home, which is the Weasley's home, the barrel. And this is another magical first sight. And here everything is magical, and Harry gets to experience how a family is, even one as chaotic and loving as the Weasleys are. After spending part of the summer there, we go to our second year at Hogwarts, and it starts by arriving late to the Sorting Hat ceremony, or rather missing it entirely since Harry missed the train with Ron during this little incident that happened at the train station. And since he missed the ceremony, the sorting hat ceremony, he missed that Ginny got sorted into Gryffindor. And we kind of see that later on in the book. But that's not the main thing. We go to Hogwarts, and strange events start to happen, including students suddenly being attacked and petrified because the Chamber of Secrets has been opened. Enemies are beware. After that threatening message, written on the walls of Hogwarts in blood, all students begin to live in a state of concealed excitement and fear because, I mean, they're children, so they get a little excited, even if they're afraid. While the professors do what next? Continue to teach, and I mean, it's logical that they go and would it be logical if they go and check if the Chamber of Secrets was open or not? I mean, they don't know where it is, but they should do something about it and check in any way. But Harry, as the story progresses, he begins to hear a strange voice around the castle. Only a voice that he can hear. And after Hermione is also petrified, and we spend half the book without her, you realize that she really is an important part of resolving Harry's issues. But that's, I mean, it goes on. And the school's nurse, because there's only one, is brewing an antidote for Hermione and the other students. Harry and Ron find themselves going into other adventures by themselves because why not? By the end, it all comes down to the Chamber of Secrets, of course. Because this chamber was created by Salazar Slytherin, it holds a basilisk, a giant snake, that it was controlled by Voldemort because when he was young and he was at school 50 years before. And you get the big surprise that he is the heir of Slytherin, and his name, Tom Riddle, we find that it is actually an anagram. I mean, Lord Voldemort is an anagram for Tom's full name, Tom Malfoy Riddle, which became I am Lord Voldemort. So technically that's his name and not just Lord Voldemort, but okay, let's not go into that. Anywho, by the end of the book, if you are not further sucked into the story of Harry Potter and the Wizarding World, then you didn't pay attention to the full book. Because here it starts to get your attention and you start to see that it's not all happening beyond magic, and it starts to turn dark. Like there are real threats to the students. Harry knows so more about himself. Actually, thanks to Tom Riddle. Yeah, he discovers he can speak with snakes, and I don't know. It's really interesting to read. The second book, I actually enjoy it a lot. But hey, I'm not Potterhead, and I'm a Slytherin. Even if I don't identify myself with the darker arts, I am about Slytherin, and I might be biased, of course, with the whole book and the whole Wizarding World. And most of the issues in this book and the Chamber of Secrets, they could have been avoided if Ginny, who had Tom Riddle's diary, if she had dropped this book in the lake, or I don't know, hide it somewhere that nobody could find it, then the other half of the book wouldn't have happened. But that's, I mean, something to consider for other times. Yeah, that's it from me. I didn't have much to say about this one, other than I enjoyed reading it, and it gives you like a doorway, a path into the whole Wizarding World, so you can start believing in the story let's say, and get intrigued by what is gonna happen next because it's only book two and there are other books in it, another five books. And yeah, that's all for me from now, dears. I wanted to give a quick overview of the Chamber of Secrets and thank you for listening. And don't forget that you can actually read about this on the blog hpick.org. And I'm gonna post another sort of spoiler, sort of flashback on the blog as well, so you can review that as well to learn more about the Chamber of Secrets. And yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this. And if you have rants, rumbles, or comments about the Chamber of Secrets, leave me a comment. Even if you haven't read and you only watch the movies, that's okay. I enjoy the movie as well. So thank you, dearies, and see you on the next one.